welcome students to the Rashmi's classes. Today's we'll discuss on NCERT Class 12 Biology.
NCERT Class 12 Biology Chapter 2. 2.4 Menstrual Cycle. The reproductive cycle in the female primates, e.g. monkeys, apes and human beings, is called menstrual cycle. The first menstruation begins at puberty and is called menarche. In human females, menstruationis repeated at an average interval of about 28-29 days, and the cycle of events starting from one menstruation till the next one is called themenstrual cycle. One ovum is released, ovulation, during the middle of each menstrual cycle. The major events of the menstrual cycle are shown in Figure 2.9. The cycle starts with the menstrual phase, when menstrual flow occurs and it lasts for 3 to 5 days. The menstrual flow results due to breakdown of endometrial lining of the uterus and its blood vessels, which forms liquid that comes out through vagina. Menstruation only occurs if the released ovum is not fertilized. Lack of menstruation may be indicative of pregnancy. However, it may also be caused due to some other underlying causes like stress, poor health, etc. The menstrual phase is followed by the follicular phase. During this phase, the primary follicles in the ovary grow to become a fully mature Graafian follicle, and simultaneously the endometrium of uterus regenerates through proliferation. These changes in the ovary and the uterus are induced by changes in the levels of pituitary and ovarian hormones, Figure 2.9. The secretion of gonadotropins, LH and FSH, increases gradually during the follicular phase, and stimulates follicular development as well as secretion of estrogens by the growing follicles. Both LH and FSH attain a peak level in the middle of cycle, about 14th day. Rapid secretion of LH leading to its maximum level during the mid-cycle called LH surge induces rupture of Graafian follicle and thereby the release of ovum, ovulation. The ovulation, ovulatory phase, is followed by the luteal phase, during which the remaining parts of the Graafian follicle transform as the corpus luteum, Figure 2.9. The corpus luteum secretes large amounts of progesterone, which is essential for maintenance of the endometrium. Such an endometrium is necessary for implantation of the fertilized ovum and other events of pregnancy. During pregnancy, all events of the menstrual cycle stop and there is no menstruation. In the absence of fertilization, the corpus luteum degenerates. This causes disintegration of the endometrium, leading to menstruation, marking a new cycle. In human beings, menstrual cycle ceases around 50 years of age, that is termed as menopause. Cyclic menstruation is an indicator of normal reproductive phase and extends between menarche and menopause. Menstrual hygiene. Maintenance of hygiene and sanitation during menstruation is very important. Take bath and clean yourself regularly. Use sanitary napkins or clean homemade pads. Change sanitary napkins or homemade pads after every 4 to 5 hours as per the requirement. Dispose of the used sanitary napkins properly, wrapping it with a used paper. Do not throw the used napkins in the drainpipe of toilets or in the open area. After handling the napkin, wash hands with soap. 2.5 Fertilization and implantation. During copulation, coitus, semen is released by the penis into the vagina, insemination. The motile sperms swim rapidly, pass through the cervix, enter into the uterus and finally reach the ampullary region of the fallopian tube, Figure 2.11b. The ovum released by the ovary is also transported to the ampullary region where fertilization takes place. Fertilization can only occur if the ovum and sperms are transported simultaneously to the ampullary region. This is the reason why not all copulations lead to fertilization and pregnancy. The process of fusion of a sperm with an ovum is called fertilization. During fertilization, a sperm comes in contact with the zona pellucida layer of the ovum, figure 2.10, and induce changes in the membrane that block the entry of additional sperms. Thus it ensures that only one sperm can fertilize an ovum. The secretions of theochrosum help the sperm enter into the cytoplasm of the ovum through the zona pellucida and the plasma membrane. This induces the completion of the meiotic division of the secondary oocyte. The second meiotic division is also unequal and results in the formation of a second polar body and a haploid ovum, ootid. Soon the haploid nucleus of the sperms and that of the ovum fuse together to form a diploid zygote. How many chromosomes will be there in the zygote? One has to remember that the sex of the baby has been decided at this stage itself. Let us see how. As you know, the chromosome pattern in the human female is XX and that in the male is XY. Therefore, all the haploid gametes, ova, produced by the female have the sex chromosome X, whereas in the male gametes, sperms, the sex chromosome could be either X or Y. Hence, 50% of sperms carry the X chromosome while the other 50% carry the Y. After fusion of the male and female gametes, the zygote would carry either XX or XY depending on whether the sperm carrying X or Y fertilized the ovum. The zygote carrying XX would develop into a female baby and XY would form a male. You will learn more about the chromosomal patterns in Chapter 5. That is why, scientifically, it is correct to say that the sex of the baby is determined by the father and not by the mother. The mitotic division starts as the zygote moves through the isthmus of the oviduct called cleavage towards the uterus, figure 2.11, and forms 2, 4, 8, 16 daughter cells called blastomers. The embryo with 8 to 16 blastomers is called a morula, figure 2.11e. The morula continues to divide and transforms into blastocyst, figure 2.11g, as it moves further into the uterus. The blastomers in the blastocyst are arranged into an outer layer called trophoblast and an inner group of cells attached to trophoblast called the inner cell mass. The trophoblast layer then gets attached to the endometrium and the inner cell mass gets differentiated as the embryo. After attachment, the uterine cells divide rapidly and covers the blastocyst. As a result, the blastocyst becomes embedded in the endometrium of the uterus, figure 2.11 step H. This is called implantation and it leads to pregnancy.
Thanks for watching the video. Please like, share and subscribe.